Yeah, thank you very much for your introduction. And Your Majesty, Your Royal Highness, Your Excellency, and dear colleagues, it is with great pleasure and honor that I speak here today. My name is Elaine, and I'm a current Duke University student studying public policy. And as you mentioned, I'm also a part of the Datasphere initiative's Youth for Our Data Future project. I want to begin with the topic of youth participation and engagement. Yesterday's wonderful presentations from Mariana, Iman, and Similolua, as well as earlier today with the presentation from Jusia, has highlighted the importance of youth participations in policymaking and the need for youth-led innovation. The question now becomes, how can we actually achieve that? And to me, the answer lies in creating multi-channels that allow the voice of youth to reach and, more importantly, impact high-level policymakers. That means we need to include not only youth councils or youth advisory groups, but we need to take one step forward in creating channels that not only include or give youth voices, but center these voices. This requires targeted and youth-centric approaches that align with youth's unique strengths. For example, young people today are very reactive and responsive to the emerging trends, hit topics, and discourse on social media. And if we can direct this sensitivity in a way that helps policymaking, it can contribute to bridging the gap between youth and policymakers. By designing youth-centric channels tailored to their unique strengths and expertise, we can shift from crafting policies for youth to co-creating solutions with them, and where possible, by them. Next, I want to turn to the question of regulatory frameworks of AI. And here I want to tie back to an idea that was brought up in yesterday's discussion. That is, the term children and youth is an umbrella term under which there are so many different nuances. And here I want to mention two of them: generational divides and intragenerational disparities. The first factor here is the generational divide. I have two twin cousins. Both are 10 years younger than me. And in my conversations with them, I realized that I perceive and use AI in ways vastly different from the way they use AI and perceive AI. My peers and I are more like AI adapters. We witnessed the rise of AI and its growing prevalence into our daily life. But my twins and the future generations of AI of children and youth are more like AI natives. They grow up and will be grow up in a world where AI is as natural as electricity. The normalization of AI technology, such as voice assistants or AI toys, will accompany them since the very beginning of their life, shaping their interactions, learning experiences, and decision-making processes in ways previous generations have never experienced. This divide demands regulatory frameworks that not only address the collective threats faced by all children, but also recognize the generation's distinct relationships and challenges with technologies. For children and youth that are AI adapters, like myself, we need actions that prioritize digital literacy education to empower youth to adapt, learn, and navigate changes in a world rapidly altered by emerging AI technologies. AI native children, on the other hand, face additional challenges such as uncritical acceptance of information, as they may trust AI output without questioning potential biases or manipulation. To address this, we need both stronger regulations on AI-generated content to prevent misinformation, as well as educational initiatives that cultivate critical thinking about AI. Data privacy and consent is another pressing concern, with AI embedded in their lives from an early age. Some regulations have already been taken place in some places, such as mandatory parental consent for the collection or use of any children's personal information. But we need more of that, and we need them to be on a global scale. Apart from generational divides, we also need to recognize the intragenerational and intersectional disparities. That is, AI doesn't impact all children and all youth equally. For example, research has shown significant disparities in algorithmic accuracy across different genders and skin tone. To ensure AI benefits all children equitably, regulations must address algorithmic bias. This calls for solutions, including requiring diverse and representative data sets when doing data training and model training, and having mandatory audits of AI systems to promote algorithmic accountability. In conclusion, we need an inclusive, equity-centered regulatory framework that prioritizes combating algorithmic bias and misinformation and protecting children's privacy rights in the AI age. Furthermore, the process of policymaking should be an ongoing and dynamic process, centering youth voices and be ready to evolve as we shift from an AI adapter to an AI native majority. Thank you very much.